Hey, what is up YouTube? Meso back again. It's been a while since I put out a video. The last video I put out was doing this bad boy here, the Anvil Foundry 10.5. It wasn't so much a review as it was the difference in boil times, 240 volt versus the 120 volt, but I wanted to actually just do an all grain of glass video with this and go big with it. So what I'm going to make today is a black IPA, double IPA. And these ingredients, it's going to max this out plus about 14 ounces. It's going to be about 16, almost 17 ounces. It's going to be 12 pounds of just regular 2-row, 2 pounds of Carafa II, 2 pounds of Crystal Malt 60L, and 14 ounces of Victory Malt. And those will get your, it'll make your IPA black. It's going to be delicious. As far as the hops, we're going big. If you don't go big with double IPAs, you're not making an IPA. It's just a beer. As far as I'm concerned, we're going like 7 ounces, I think, on hops. We're going to go 3 ounces of Columbus, 2 ounces of Centennial, 3 ounces of Cascade. 2 of those ounces are going to be dry hop, which I usually don't like dry hopping. I usually never do it. Alright, let's get this brew started. Since this is my first video of making all grain, I'm going to start from the beginning. So I wanted to start, I wanted to do a yeast starter. So if you know how to do a yeast starter, if somebody wants to comment on the bottom different times, if you want to skip the yeast starter, you can write there when the actual brew starts. But okay, let's do this yeast starter first. And if you've never done a yeast starter before, it's real simple. And I'm the type of person that'll tell somebody, of course it's simple for you because you've done it 100 times. Don't tell me it's easy, but this really is simple. Few things you'll need: light dry malt extract. You want your flask, you want your stir plate, and of course your yeast. Yeast we're going with for this double blackened IPA is White Lab San Diego Super WLP 090. And I'll go into the steps. Okay, and that's enough talking. So we're doing a 1200 milliliter yeast starter. So for 1200 milliliter, you're going to want 120 grams of your dry malt extract. And our stir plate, ready to go. Got the little ring there from many times being used. And of course, the most important, we got our San Diego Super Yeast WLP 090. And I just made an ice bath for cooling after the boil. So yeah, just basically you're gonna go ahead, dump your water in, start your boil. And this is very important. This is why I'm showing this. You do not want to dump your DME in a boil. It will boil over. DME is kind of crazy. It is so powdery and easy to boil. Just do not do that. Warning. Yeah, just bring it down to barely a boil. You can see it on the stove up there. I got it to almost low, and just dump it in. You're gonna want to stir it really good. You don't want any clumps, anything like that. Just make sure it ends up liquid. Once you do your initial stir, set your timer for 15 minutes, and just as you can see, just stir frequently. Make sure it doesn't boil over. You really just want to break that foam on top. That's what the boil over is. Once you break the foam and stir repeatedly and often, boil over should be good. And while you're doing your 15-minute boil, stirring, going back and forth, making sure it doesn't boil over, you also get your flask ready. Sanitize it good. I sanitized it before, but I just want to give it another spray down just to be safe since we are dealing with yeast. So do that as you're doing the 15-minute boil. Just spray that bad boy down with some Star San. Boil is done. About halfway there now. So just get your, I guess you can call this wort. That's basically what it is. Damn near. You can make alcohol out of that if you wanted to. So just dump it into your flask. That's sanitized. You're good to go. You'll see here it's still it's a little bit under 1200 milliliters still with the boil off, but I mean that's fine. It's gonna happen. I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, it's hot too. Be careful. Remember, you just boil it. That is hot and sticky. You don't want no part of that on your skin or on your stove or anything. Take it. Got my ice bath there. And I use a foam cap. I've seen some people use an airlock. I don't know why, because I'm not trying to keep CO2. I'm trying to bring oxygen into it. Since we're doing a yeast starter, you want oxygen. Fill it up with water. And definitely, most important, you want your thermometer, just so you can check the temperature as you cool it down. As your starter is sitting in the batch, just give it a stir a couple times every 5 minutes or so, just to speed up the process. Oh, here, you want to say hi to my dogs. That's Max, right there, the bulldog, and Alice in the back. Max loves the camera. Oh, he's such a good dog. But yeah, check it out. Keep stirring. Check your temperature. 92, too hot. Can't do it. So yeah, just let it sit. Be patient with it. Once you keep doing this enough, you start being patient. And alright, here we go. This is the true test. Where are we at? We are at 67, 68 degrees. That is perfect. So let's do this. Alright. It is ready. Put your stir plate on. Get your funnel. The yeast is sitting in some sanitizer right now. I'm just doing this just to make sure. Spray it down. Because again, you want to sanitize it. Just make sure it's sanitized, because again, it's yeast. You don't want to get anything in there, period. Just make sure everything's clean. Dump your yeast starter in, and you're just about done. That's really how simple it is, like I said earlier. When you're dealing with White Labs yeast, you want to make sure you squeeze every single bit of it out so you don't waste it. And yes, that was very appropriate, because that's what it seems like when you're dealing with White Labs. I wish they had a better packet. But so yeah, yeast is in there, and now it's ready to go. So from here, all you need is get your stir magnet that you're going to throw in your stir plate. And bam, that's it. Put your foam cap on, set your dial to stir. You don't want to do it crazy. You don't want to do it to max, because it usually throws the magnet to the side, and you're going to wake up, it's just going to be stuck to the side, not working. But that's it. You're done. That's your yeast starter. Now that's ready to fuel some beer. I originally planned on a 2-day starter than doing brew day. However, my brew day got postponed. Work got busy, real life, so I have got to wait till Friday on my day off to do this. Got me thinking though, I don't want this to sit on the stir plate stirring for 5 days. It's going to eat up all the sugar, and I'm not sure if it'll harm the yeast or kill the yeast. If you know, let me know. I just don't know. So what I'm going to show you real quick is how to grow your colony in here. Let's take that little pack of yeast and turn it into a big... I want this yeast to Game of Thrones type battle yeast, which is what we're going to do. Come on. Okay, so grab your yeast. What we're going to do is cold crash it, throw it in your fridge. And what this is going to do is just calm your yeast down and let it all settle to the bottom. Do this for about 24 hours. And 24 hours later, boom, you can see all the yeast is settled to the bottom. This is what you want. This is perfect. So just set this bad boy down, and we're ready to grow some more yeast. And from here, you see the yeast is settled to the bottom. We're just going to take that liquid on top, slowly dump it out. Don't get crazy with it. We don't want to waste any yeast, so just get rid of the liquid on top. And from here on out, the yeast that's left over in the bottom, just treat it as a new packet of yeast. All you got to do is repeat the previous steps in this video. Get your 1200 milliliters of water. Dump in your dry malt extract, get your boil on, just do everything from the beginning. The only thing that I did different, because I only have one flask and I didn't clean that one out, transfer it, whatever, I just put the pot that I boiled in the freezer, and that's the only difference. But again, just repeat the steps. That's it. That is all you need to know to grow some yeast. After you do this, dump about half of it in a mason jar, throw it in the fridge, and you got a free pack of yeast. You don't got to buy it again. It costs about $1.50 for a dry malt extract on a 1200 milliliter batch. Maybe 75-80 cents if you scale it down to a 600-700 milliliter. So there you go. Alright, I took too much time on this. Let's brew some damn beer.
Is to crush the grains. If you need a grain mill, link in description. Here we go. Okay guys, so right now we are at 156 degrees and we're trying to get 152 mash temperature.
Alright, that means we're really about to make beer, so let us put the grain basket in. We'll let that go. We're good. Now we're going to put the grain basket support in, and I'll tell you right now, be careful with this. This grain basket support is dangerous. First or second time that I brewed this, I put it in, it looked all good, blah, blah, blah. It was fine when I put it in. When I went to, when I pulled the grain basket out after the mash was done, I bumped this. The whole grain basket just dropped on me. We were about 150, 156 degrees. I don't remember what I was doing, but it was instant sunburn on my hands as I did it, just because the support just dropped down. The whole grain basket dropped down. You can look above. I saved that there just for this video. Wart, I'm talking about hot sticky wart, just went everywhere. It was so. Just be careful when you do this ring. I still love the Anvil, I still recommend it, but I wish they would have either welded it or put another lip above it. That way if you bump it, you're not gonna get sunburn or wart on your roof.
I didn't want to be in the yeast starter video, but now we're making a beer and we have 17 pounds of grain, so let's make this mash. Dump it in.
What, you getting a workout?
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. Let me help a little bit.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is thick. This is hands down the thickest we've ever done. Alright, and this is gonna be a 1 hour mash. Alright, so this guy's still looking good. It's thick mash, so don't get scared of the thickness. It's especially for you ladies. Just keep stirring this, I don't know, every 10-15 minutes or so. And I've been doing this, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hook up this pump right here. It's already hooked up, but we're gonna set it on the plate. So let's turn this pump on. See, you definitely don't want that. They give you the little crutch to slow the flow down, but you'll get frustrated. All I do is turn the valve. Anvil will tell you not to do this because it could destroy the pump, but I mean, it's up to you. Okay, there we go. That's a good flow. Now I'm gonna let that go now. I'll come back in about 10-15 minutes and stir it again, but that's about a good flow you want. It's not gonna overflow. Oh, look how pretty that looks. I wish you could smell this. I guarantee smell vision will come out within the near future also. Alright, let's see where we're at. Okay. It's going slower than before, but that's okay too. That's kind of where you want to be at, because you do want to stir this thing every now and then. I like to shut it off when I do this, but just oh my god, I wish you guys could smell this. Holy wow. But yeah, again, I just want to stir this again, just the top portion of it. And they'll tell you the top whatever percent, but you just don't, I mean, you don't want to dig it to the bottom, because if you dig to the bottom, it's just going to get into your, if you dig all the way to the bottom, you're just going to push the grains through the basket, so you just don't want to do that. But oh my gosh, this is beautiful to me. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking good, and we're almost done. We're almost done with the mash. Bear with us. Bear with us. Okay, so let's crank this back on a little bit. Turn that on. Okay, yep. See, look at that. I told you it was going to be a black IPA. Look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, let's check this out in a minute. Then we'll start a boil and add some hops and make some real beer. Where are we at? 154? That's fine. It's a couple degrees over where we wanted. Alright, and mash is done. We got this black IPA. It looks beautiful. It smells beautiful. Let's set this to boil right now. Turn the power back to 100%. We got 100, and then we'll set the temperature to boil. There it goes, boil. Boil. Okay, now this is the part I was telling you guys earlier about. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. Like I said, I learned from it. We're going to lift this mash bed up. And I learned too, I want to take a couple steps up just to do this. Ooh, we did it. Alright, then just set it and forget it. Let it drain down some. Alright, so we got the grain basket out. We are ready to go almost. Yeah, it's just above 6 gallons. Under 6.5. And I was saying earlier that the Anvil, it doesn't boil much off, so I don't want to go like 7.2, what it may recommend, because then you'll be left over with beer. And I don't want to waste any. So yeah, we got our hops set up, so let's start adding some hops now. Alright, this is our first edition. Got the hop basket in there. First edition is 1.5 ounce of Columbus. So let's go and put this boy in. Smells good too. Alright, 1.5 ounces of Columbus in. We are making beer. Alright, and this is just something I do just in case there's any leftover grains or whatever. I just like to put the pump in the hot basket just to filter it a little bit. Plus it'll stir up your hops in the basket, so it'll get around there some more. So yeah, if you want to do this, it's definitely optional. Some people don't even use a grain basket. They just like to dump all the hops in. But I'm using 8 ounces of hops, or 6 ounces before the dry hop. It's going to clog the pump. Alright, and this is what? Second hop addition we got here? Alright, we're going, this is the 1 ounce of Centennial going in right now. Alright, so let's dump that in. We are getting closer and closer. No idea why I'm looking at my keyboard. Alright, 1 ounce of Centennial in. We're good. And this next one is also going to be 1 ounce of Centennial. The boil times I will put in the description in case you get confused with it. Or I might just edit this and write it up on there. I'll do that for you. Alright, and now to the yeast nutrient and the Warflock tablet. This is at 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm just showing you how much yeast nutrient I'm using because you've seen that yeast starter we made and you've seen the 17-pound grain build. We're definitely going to need it. So yeah, just I recommend a wooden spoon. I just got that spoon, or the paddle, whatever you want to call it. It's decent, it's cheap, that's why I got it. There's definitely better ones out there. The wood's pretty soft. If you want to check it out, if you need cheap, I'll put a link to that in the description. And now we're going for, here we go, another ounce too. This is the ounce of Cascade that we're about to put in. There it goes. And then last but not least, we got another 1.5 ounce of our Columbus, and this is going to be it for the hop edition. And this is it was supposed to be 0 minutes. I did it at 5 minutes though, and we're basically done. I'm going to dump that right into the pot. I don't know why, I always do that for whatever reason. But that's it. I mean, hops are done. Beer is on. So from here, I'm just going to turn the power off. We're going to get ready to cool this bad boy. So there you see it, power is off. Hooked up the chiller right here. Anvil does come with the adapter so you can hook it up to your sink. I've had questions about this in my other video. They were wondering how to do it without bringing a hose into their house. But yeah, they do hook you up with the adapter. All you got to do is unscrew what your faucet has on it and just replace it. Where are we at now? We are at 130 degrees. I should have set a timer, but I didn't edit it right. I can't really do it now. But okay, 68 degrees, so we are good. So I'm going to try to do this slick shit right here, which is probably a bad idea because I got on my floor. I'm also doing night brewing too, so if you've ever done this at night, you know it sucks because you never end up cleaning at night. Now let's speed this up. And, you see I'm holding it high up too, so that'll oxygenate it. Alright, and we are finished. Now let's get to that yeast starter that we spent all that time on. And this is a beast of a yeast starter too. I couldn't even tell you how many cells are in this. The package started with 100 billion. I don't know how to count to 100 billion. No idea how they do it, but it's a lot more than that now. After all we've done. So yeah, when you get your when you pull it off the stir plate, you need a magnet. Remember this magnet too, because it sucks when you go to dump your yeast starter in and you're like, oh shit, the stir magnet fell into your fermenter. I've done it I don't know, maybe half a dozen times. I'm surprised I remembered it tonight, but you can see the magnet's holding the stir magnet right there. Alright, so we got beer. If you got this bucket, do make sure you bang it down. You don't want it loose at all. Just bang it out. Make sure it's tight and sealed. And yeah, I want I wanted to show this too because I do have a chest freezer right here, but you can see the temperature is set at 50 degrees. I actually have a lager in there, and at 50 degrees it's just too cold. It's too cold for this yeast. I mean, this yeast I believe is between, it shows 68, 72 degrees. So the chest freezer is just it's just too cold. So I got an extra bathroom here that nobody ever uses. The temperature does stay around 68 through 72, so I'm just bringing it and gonna just do a simple set in the bathtub. Alright, and since we had a since we made such a beast of a yeast starter, I just want to show you this, why I'm not using the airlock. An airlock would not be good for this. Just imagine the mess you would walk into if you used a regular airlock. So I want to just use the blow-off tube set into this. It's like I said, if you had an airlock, you would walk in the next day and you would have beer just all over your tub. And imagine if it wasn't in a bathtub and you're using the airlock. Alright, so that is it. We just made some damn beer, and I have to say I'm proud of it. It's a long video. Okay, what's funny about that last clip, that was the actual sound. I didn't add anything. I just slowed it down a bit, but that's how aggressive that yeast starter was. But we are done. We finished some beer. If you see the little clips above my shoulders, we did dry hop it. We did the 2 ounces of Cascade. And since I had it open, I added another 2 tablespoons of the yeast nutrient. I boiled it before I dumped it in just to be safe, to kill off if anything was there. And again, I'm stupid. I recorded everything, but I did measure the final gravity when I was done, and the final gravity was at it was between 1012 and 1013. So this is about a 9% beer. But check it out. That is the black IPA right there. Let's test this out. I mean, I can already tell this is going to be a strong, punch you in the face, hoppy, delicious beer. Oh, oh, it definitely hits you. Oh, that definitely hits you. Oh, the dry hop, you can definitely taste the Cascade and the. Oh, wow. This is actually delicious. You can tell it is strong. It'll punch you in the face. But oh my gosh, look, I even have the shakes tasting this because like you don't want to drink maybe no more than 2 of these. But wow, hold on. Oh yeah, that is delicious. Alright, and I am out right now. And let me know below in the comments, did you like it? What you like, what you didn't like, and let me know if I did anything wrong also, because I'm not that guy that's been doing this for 10, 20 years. I started doing this as soon as lockdowns happened. I needed a hobby, so there's 2 things I learned. I learned how to make beer, and I learned how to make bread, both with my son. So yeah, if you like this, definitely give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you want to see more. I have that yeast still in the fridge. I did want to do another video of this. What I wanted to do is to make cheap beer. I want to see the cheapest, best tasting beer I can make. So that's the next one. So yeah, if you want to see some more of this, let me know down bottom. Hit that like, subscribe. Meso out.